Hello, and welcome to Songwriters Spotlight, the Western Mass Songwriters Collaborative Series. I'm Dr. Dan, your host of the show, where we feature Western Mass songwriters who perform their original songs and talk about the art of songwriting. Stay tuned to explore more about music and the tunesmithing that creates it. Our guests this episode are Pat and Tex LaMountain, currently marking 50 years of performing in the Pioneer Valley. Their music spans decades of politics, culture, and history. Their songs and stories are rich with their experiences. This is Pat and Tex LaMountain.
So we're going to start with a song that the first song we wrote, and it's actually how we got together in the very beginning. We wrote songs together. And this song it's about living on hippie communes back in, we wrote it, we were trying to figure out when it was written, and we just wrote down 1976 because we couldn't really find the date. But that was like basically 50 years ago. And it's just a song about who we are.
10 below zero, huh? Underneath my covers, I'm all snug up in my bed, fighting like the devil to get up. There's a stove in the laundry, keep the pipes from freezing, the fire in the parlor to keep warm. Get up and add some wood, keep the home fires burning. This country living's full with life's rewards. At 10 below zero, my ideals waver. At 15 below, I'm not strong. At 20 below zero, I have the crazy notion that I never really meant it all along. Got an old-time car that I try to keep her running. I got a pile of parts this tall. When those friendly noises start to spit and stutter, I gotta haul out my tools to get her going. Flat on my back in the snow, feet hanging out on the highway. Make certain that life is not a bore. But at 10 below zero, my ideals waver. At 15 below, I'm not strong. At 20 below zero, I have the crazy notion that I never really meant it all along.
I got a big mama cow whose milk is so sweet, I've got 10 hungry calves to feed. The barn door opening brings a serenade from the loveliest eyes you've ever seen. Carry those buckets to the barn, toss bales of hay every day, hey, hey. The rhythm of the chores will keep you going. But at 10 below zero, my ideals waver. At 15 below, I'm not strong. At 20 below zero, I have the crazy notion that I never really meant it all along. My heart just left a long-time stranger, a loner who is strong, and it's talking to another, the whole world's lover, who has the gentlest voice that's ever sung.
Heart, you must be stronger. Get yourself together and forget until you know just who you are. But at 10 below zero, my ideals waver. 15 below, I'm not strong.
At
20 below zero, I have the crazy notion that I never really meant it all along. This is a song. It's called "Dance On." My parents used to come. They were great fans of mine. So from when I was in my teens, I was starting to play music, and they would come and they'd always come and dance, listen to what I was doing, and no matter whether I had a band or whether I was just doing it myself, or with some friends. So. This is a song I wrote for them, about them.
The important thing is that they used to dance whenever you played.
They always dance.
That's why it's called Dance On.
Yeah.
And we have it as, it says copyright 2002. But when did your dad pass away? Around then.
Don't answer hard questions like that.
Hard questions.
I can't.
But anyway, he wrote it for his dad for his parents after his dad passed away.
Yeah, it's called Dance On. Wherever you may be tonight, rest easy, my old friends. Whenever stars are shining bright, I know we'll meet again. My only wish is to have the gift and dance as you did then. When you were on your feet, you never missed a beat, my friend. You're in my thoughts once more. It happens again and again. You and Mom would take the floor, dance till the night would end.
So
Effortless,
never
seemed to rest. You'd ask the band for more. Then arm in arm you'd dance across the floor. Dance on and on. Dance on. Dance on and on. And on. I still see you on your feet when the music's right. I close my eyes and you're still dancing tonight. How about it, Mother? Shall we take another spin? You'd both be smiling as you stood up to begin. Why, they're playing our song again. Shall we have one more? Then arm in arm you dance across the floor. Dance on and on. Dance on. Dance on and on. And on. I still see you on your feet, and when the music's right, I close my eyes and you're still dancing tonight. I close my eyes and you're still dancing tonight.
Well,
Let's see.
since we did a song about his parents, we had to do one about my parents. So I did one about my mom.
Yeah.
I remember my mom coming to the Iron Horse Music Hall in Northampton, and I had just started performing it. So that was a really interesting experience to sing a song that you wrote about your mom with your mom sitting there in a public place.
Freaking you out a little bit.
Yeah, really, poor thing. And this is called Mama, but I don't play on it because I wrote it before I played guitar still. And this was in the middle of the women's movement, you have to remember, and people were going through identity things, and why did my mother raise me that way, you know, that kind of stuff. So you have to think of all the women that were going through thoughts about their mom. Okay. You used to hold me in your arms when I was very small. Cradle me and rock away the tears. You loved me more than I have ever been loved since. Why have I been angry all these years? Did I have to be a mother first to know how much you gave? Did I have to fail at love to know your pain? How you spent your life to give me all those things you never did. Then I told you how your life was all in vain. Mama, I'm yearning here to tell you, just like a newborn colt that tries to run, I've just discovered that I like you just the way you are, and I've always loved you more than I have known. Mama, I'm yearning here to tell you, I've always loved you more than I have known. All the mothers of eternity have given life for free, and you have given me much more than birth. When my heart broke, my world went dark, but you were always there, a candle in the cavern of my lonely years of hurt.
Mama, I'm yearning here to tell you, just like a newborn colt that tries to run, I've just discovered that I like you just the way you are,
and I've always loved you more
than I have known. Mama, I'm yearning here to tell you
I've
always loved you more than I have known.
So this is a song that Tex wrote, and I don't know if you've ever been stuck behind a truck, a slow truck, or anything in the country, and it takes forever to get by. That was inspiring, this song.
I was out in Holly.
Yeah, we used to have a place out in
Behind
Holly.
a big hay wagon.
Yep.
Yeah. No.
And when the farmers are out, they take over the roads.
All right, so
It's called Tractor State of Mind.
yeah. In the summertime, we'd pack the car, head up north to my uncle's farm. It was time to get away. My folks grew up as country kids, cows and corn, chicken and pigs. They loved to be there when they cut the hay. We'd meet the cousins in the yard. We'd all run down to the barn and to the wagons in the fields. We'd climb up and ride along, just barely hanging on. Maybe a little risky, we'd all be hot and dusty. We're not worried, we're all doing fine. We're just shifting to a tractor state of mind. It's time to stop the world. It's time to stop the world. We'll hurry up, get nowhere, like the tortoise and the hare. We're out chasing diamonds and pearls. Then it's time to stop the world. Ever been out on a country drive, loving it all, just being alive. Maybe one of those lazy August days. Maybe heading for the beach, maybe out to pick some peaches, get to your favorite getaway. What's that I see up ahead?
Brake lights are
Turning red, biggest load of hay I've ever seen. Not a thing we can do to pass this guy and get on through. UPS and pickup trucks, barely moving, we're all stuck. What's there to do when you're caught behind a John Deere guy in a tractor state of mind? It's time to stop the world. It's time to stop the world. Hurry up, get nowhere, like the tortoise and the hare. We're out changing diamonds and pearls. Then it's time to stop the world. It's time to stop the world. It's time to stop the world. For each of us, I guess there are some times we'd like to leave this old world behind and shift into a tractor state of mind.
We had a place in Hawley, which is way out in the sticks. It's the smallest. I think it's the smallest. Maybe Savoy is smaller, but it's one of the 2 smallest towns in the state. I think they might have like 600 residents or something. I really don't remember exactly. But it was right on the river, and Irene came along and sent all the buildings down the river. So basically, we have a song now called Down the River.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I miss the old place, the trees, the happy summer days, the warm, lazy ways we used to spend. The rocks are trying to be friends, but they're new out of the blue. She changed the view. Our scenic view went down the river, out of the blue. Campfires on the riverbank, stars so bright you could see in the night forever. 20 tall pines near the river's edge, most of the land, all of the sheds. There goes the camp, oh,
There it
the
goes.
new roof.
Down the river,
the basketball was heading for
Springfield,
Springfield, and the
Hall of Fame.
The lawnmower ended on its back like a turtle. 2 miles down the river, I guess half a canoe is better than none.
Hung
Is that the living room curtains hanging from that tree? Down the river, memories wrapped around trees at every bend. Don't know when we can reel them in. I'm planting weeping willows now in Chickley River Hollow. Don't play drums 'cause I don't feel like dancing,
just crying like the river.
I'm planting weeping willows here in Chickley River Hollow. How about a picnic table for 2? It's down the river. A Casio piano playing sweet melodies down the river. I know my dishes are broken, but where are the spoons
And my hula hoop.
down the river,
down the river, ooh, out of the blue. Whoops.
Would you like to play croquet?
Okay.
It's down the river.
Down the river.
Barbecue grill, your favorite
thrill.
down the river.
Down the river. Irene really cleaned my plate. She ate the whole thing.
the side of the head.
Pay attention is all she said. Everything is down the river now.
Don't
Play drums 'cause I don't feel like dancing. Just crying like the river.
I'm planting weeping willows here in
Chickley River Hollow.
Out of the blue, she changed the view.
Our scenic view went down the river. Ooh, out of the blue.
What's the story for this one?
What's the story? This
2023. This is a
is
really
more
recent song for
This
Tex.
one, actually, our daughter was over in
Berlin.
and we were in.
We went to India,
Yeah, we went to India. So
and on the way back, we decided to to Berlin to see her. So that's how we
and
got.
we were
to
hanging
Paris.
out, waiting for the train.
Yeah, so we had to take a train from the airport. We had to get to the train from the airport and then wait for the train to go to Berlin and then come back and then fly back home.
And Pat was having a sick day that afternoon. You weren't feeling
It was
well.
miserable.
So we were waiting. We had time to kill before the train came. And we found this park.
Right near the train station. It was
And
right across the street.
it was just right in the middle of all kinds of really interesting local people hanging out
It was
there.
a very Paris park.
And so I just had this idea, something about a day in the park. And
That's when you wrote the music.
Yeah.
You got some words going and stuff.
So I finished the song. It took, a few years later,
But this
I
is
finished
10
the
years
song.
later that he actually did it.
But
So that was the first idea.
so it has a couple of titles. It's called Day in the Park or Butterfly.
And our friend Annie has been saying for years, you have to get Paul McCartney to record that song. So we have, see if you think that's true.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, so it goes something like this. This is still a work in progress here.
Not really.
Yeah. Something about a day in the park
Kind of
opens up my heart, and the world's alive, and we're out here moving.
I'm out here in the green,
Kind of checking out the scene, just drifting along,
out here
grooving.
got no agenda today. Just feel like getting away, like a butterfly flitting along from flower to flower. Here I am floating along, singing my butterfly song, just taking in the world from hour to hour.
Butterfly, I'm just fluttering by.
I'm caught up in the song I'm singing.
By and by, if you catch my eye,
I'll try to pick up on the
gift
you're bringing. Could we have just drifted away? day. Or imagine that I heard you say, we're in a world where we're all caught up in our hurry. Before you have to lift, in my heart I'm picking up on the shift. I feel the winds of change flowing through my worries. Butterfly, before you skip back into the sky, I'd like to pick up on the changes you see coming. Bye, if you don't mind me asking you why, won't you tell me what it is that keeps you running? Something about a day in the park kind of opens up my heart, and the world's alive, and we're out here moving. You may look like any old butterfly that happens to be passing me by, but I know the world's alive, and we're out here moving. Yeah, oh butterfly. Well, I know the world's alive when we're out here moving. So this is called Pray for Rain. And I don't really mean the water, but we've been getting the water, so maybe I did mean it. So this is Pray for Rain. We disagree. It's not the first time, won't be the last. But before we let these angry words lash out in pain, let's hold our tongue and pray for rain. Shower down on us the heart we need to hear. We're begging for your gentle healing touch. Let the lightning and the thunder find respect as we flounder in the doubts, misunderstanding. Pray for rain that washes on the heavy faces. Lift them up to celebrate. Make us whole again. We've wandered from our moorings. Find us gratitude and humble ways again. I don't want to judge you, don't want you to bully me. I just want the greater good floating all around us. I don't have all the answers, but I think we can agree. This chaos could kill us if we don't learn to disagree. Pray for rain, like springtime in the flowers. Pray for rain and floods of understanding. Pray for rain
and the hope we had as children. Pray for rain, show us the way to be. Pray for rain, it isn't hard to vision. Pray for rain, we all can use relief. Pray for rain, and all the children laughing, and the way to open up for us to breathe. We disagree, we clearly disagree.
We can only guess the best is yet to be. Could be normal to be step by step evolving with respect. Some from you and some from me.
And when we lose our way, the way is rocky.
We need
to learn to stop and let it stay. We need to have the courage to be kinder. We need to learn to pray. We need to learn to stop and let it stay.
We need to have the courage to be kinder.
We need to learn to pray for rain.
We need
to learn to pray for rain. So, growing up, Roy Orbison was one of my favorite songwriters, and the bands I was in, and we always, tried to do Roy Orbison songs, but so it came to pass that Roy Orbison passed away, and I was reading an article about Roy. So Roy, being one of my favorite songwriters, I just had an idea to do a song. He was not only a lonely man, not just a singer without a band, not the man behind the shades as they showed him in the trades. He would sing and I would cry. He had a voice that could reach the sky. I could hardly believe the sound came from a man with his feet on the ground. Was the voice of the lonely, the losers, the scared and the homely. When he sang, we could be anything if we'd only hold on to our dreams. La 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 la. Down, 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 big you are. La 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 la. Whoa, whoa, yeah, 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 yeah. Down, 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 big you are. Didn't look like no rock and roll man, but such majesty was at his command. line. And the band is still keeping time in the wink of a young man's eye. Across the wide open Texas sky.
A song about the meditation.
Okay, this is good.
This is called Fly Like a Bird, and the words are not original. That's why we were in India, that time that we were coming back and going to Berlin to see our daughter. Our teacher back then would always say, you need 2 wings to fly. You have to make money, you have to provide for your family, but you have to have a sense of who you are and love, basically. So this is a song that's basically about fly like a bird. And it's sort of Americanized it. I put it into a gospel kind of a energy. And we call it Fly Like a Bird. Find an eagle who really knows how to fly. Put his heart in your sights, aim high. Then follow that eagle, your heart will show you where. Don't fly in circles, take the straight and narrow path. Are you flying around in circles? The way is long, the air is rough. Your nest's a mess of crazy schedules. At the end of the week, you've had enough. Fly like a bird on 2 wings, straight as an arrow to the mark. Fly like a bird on 2 wings, 2 wings to fly straight to his heart. We're all flying around in circles. We work so hard to make ends meet. One wing flapping out of kilter, takes 2 strong wings to last a week. Fly like a bird on 2 wings, straight as an arrow to the mark. Fly like a bird on 2 wings, 2 wings to fly straight to his heart. One lonely wing always flies in circles around that limp wing, dragging in the dirt. Lift that poor thing.
It's the wing of love.
Now fly with both wings for all your birds. Unravel all your weary troubles. Unfurl your flag, the glory high. Stretch out that wing, the wing of love. You know your heart is how to fly. Fly like a bird on 2 wings, straight as an arrow to the mark. Fly like a bird on 2 wings, 2 wings to fly straight to his heart. Fly like he flies on 2 wings, 2 wings to fly straight to his heart. Find an eagle who really knows how to
Well, thank you for a great set of thoughtful, tuneful songs and vocals to carry them. Very nicely done, and get so much music out of 2 guitars. I was very impressed by that. Sounded really nice, and great stories to go along with it. Just a little extra, or a lot of extra going into that. So thank you so much for that.
Sure.
So, how long have you been writing songs?
I've been writing songs since I was about 15 years old or so.
And how old are you?
Well, I'm 83 now.
So that's 68 years, is that right? Am I adding right?
I don't know.
That's interesting. I never thought about it.
I just always loved music, and I had songs in my head all the time too. I always had ideas, or I'd hear somebody say something, and I would just grab a phrase, and there would be a story there somehow. Or anyway, most of what I do is just comes out of, a lot of it's from family and just regular anything that's going on in life. I'll get an idea and make a song, or put a song together.
Well, what was the story of when you wrote "Listen to the Music"? That to me, that's the picture of what you were like when you were really young. I mean, like teenager, anyway.
That was one of the first songs I wrote. It's called "Listen to the Music," and it's actually about listen to the music, coming through the fields. I was with a friend of mine who was an artist, and we used to hang out together over in the Berkshires, and he would paint. He was a painter, and I had my guitar. And we spent a lot of time just hanging out together, and he was painting one of his amazing pieces, and I just thought I had an idea. I said, "Listen to the music coming through the fields." Oh geez, I can't remember. Listen to the music coming through the fields,
kicking up its heels.
I can't even think of the words, but anyway, it was
It's a Clean Living song, so I don't know.
It was just a phrase. It was just a phrase out of that, And I ran down through the fields to the barn where he had, where he hung out, and found some paper and wrote down this song, and it's just the whole thing just flowed out, and there was my first song, right there, and little did I know that 40, 50 years later, I'd still be doing the same thing, with things that bolted into my head somehow, but I'm not as active now as I was back then. But Pat, when I ran into Pat, she had a whole lot of.
I don't know why I first started doing, but when I was little, I would go down in the basement and pretend I was a rock and roll star, and I would sing songs and make them up. But that was just as a little kid, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I was Little Patty and the River Rats. That was my. I just remember it now. And my brothers and sisters thought I was nuts. That was okay. But I always, I was actually took violin lessons, but I never really became a musician because there's something about it. The music world never drew me in. And
she's a poet.
Yeah, I think it's the words that drew me in, really. But then I married a bass player in college, and he had a rock band, and I was like, women didn't play in the rock bands then. I mean, you could, but it wasn't naturally going to happen. So I would just sort of secretly write my own songs, and then I started picking up a little bit more on guitar, but I really couldn't write the music. I could sing it because the melody is in the words in my mind, but I couldn't play it. And then ultimately I figured out how to do it, but it took years for me to actually. I even quit guitar for several years. I said, I'm not playing anymore. I'm terrible. I even smashed a guitar. I was so angry because I was so bad. I'm not a very helpful person to have around in certain situations. But when I ran into Tex, I could write words and put them and sing him the music, and all of a sudden he's playing the song. It was like, that's pretty handy. So it worked out really well. For me, it worked out. It was just smooth as could be. I never even occurred to me how lucky I was till later when I thought back about it. Because most people don't have a good guitar player to just pick
or
up.
a vocalist like this, or a lyricist like this. Yeah, we've been a good couple, good match.
Well, we've learned a lot from each other. Cause
yeah, we support each other in many ways.
you have to deal with stuff if you're like us.
Well, we wrote the first couple of songs we wrote. We're over in North Leverett. Is that where we were then?
Yep.
And
Or in Montague. He lived in a
Montague,
communal farm in Montague, and I lived on a farm in Leverett.
so you had actually one of the songs was about the anti-nuclear.
Oh, No
Was-
Nukes, which
called-
is actually one of those, it's like a 45. And some people referred to it as the anthem of the No Nukes movement for years when we performed traveling with other groups, at events for No Nukes. That was back before 1980
70s.
because we got married and moved to California, so it was before then. So that's how I can time things. But we did a lot of No Nukes events for years.
More than we probably ever. many.
Well, then we joined a group called Bright Morning Star. I don't know if you've heard of them. They are no longer together, but they evolved into another group because when we left, somebody else came in, and then they toured a lot more. So some people don't know us as part of them. But one of the things I felt really strongly is I had a lot of songs that I wanted to do that had nothing to do with politics. And it just constrained us because there were a lot of good writers in Bright Morning Star, and we had to do all political songs. And it was like, no, that's not going to happen. I had more about people and life and stuff.
And we kind of lean more toward like spiritual rather than political.
To me, they're the same thing, but
Yeah.
it's like if you're doing topical songs, they generally have another feeling than about. I feel like when I like politics, it's when it's about people and what you can learn from holding to your heart. And even in a political situation, holding to your heart. That's basically the lesson of it all, is learning to say what you really feel and believe, and not necessarily hit somebody over the head with it, just say it.
Well, your song about the rain, that kind of epitomizes what you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah, you heard it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're going to get wet, maybe, but that's okay. I mean,
Yeah. Who are your inspirations?
Roy Orbison was one of them.
Well, I grew up with rock and roll and folk, and country, and so all that, everything that comes out. I love Willie. I love,
Jerry Lee Lewis, you did. You go to the piano.
Yeah, I
and
had
he
a
was all of a
piano
sudden
and I
doing this
played
stuff.
Jerry Lee Lewis and I played
Dylan, Elvis.
Yeah.
That's a
Elvis.
him,
I could do all those Elvis songs, and I could do, I just knew all those songs because I was always either doing it at home or doing it with bands. I was in bands from the time of, in high school, right up through. I always had a band, and my parents always came to watch the music, and so they really supported me. I could do no wrong as far as they were concerned, and then when I drifted over to UMass, I had a rock and roll band at UMass, and we played, always played all kind of college events and everything, and we would do, just all kinds of cover tunes. And I was starting to write back then, but I was always doing commercial music or popular music?
I like to dance, so for me, the music was about dancing until I started writing, and it was when I was in the women's movement, and I liked the women songwriters. I really liked like Holly Near, and there were just dozens of them, and they were a real inspiration. And I would write about what I was experiencing as a woman in the world today. And I actually put out an album of my songs. I never, ever once promoted it. The last thing I wanted to do was play a solo, and just do my music. That had no attraction to me at all. But the songs were really important. And in fact, we started really looking at some of them, and I think we should start doing them again. They're good songs. They're fun songs. But I guess, when I start singing, I really like the gospel sound. Mm-hmm. I like I'm not a Janis Joplin kind of singer. That's clear to me. Who is? I love Aretha sounds. I love so a lot of those kinds of musicians really inspire you because of their energy that they have. Yeah. And they're incredible. And you can get a lot. You get different things from music, popular music, than you get from courses in school or whatever you want to call that kind of learning. I mean, it's I don't know if it's life lessons, what it is. It's depth of life, What do you say?
I was just thinking about Joe. We had in our this friend of ours, Joe Podlesny, who is a really great guitarist, musician, and he built this. We had a barn in the back of our house in Montague. No,
Greenfield.
In Greenfield. Sorry, I easily get confused. I've been around. But Joe and Pat and I put together a studio. We just, with our various, we had the building, we had some money, and Joe was there, and he had all the talent, and so Joe was always recording, bringing people in to record, and so in fact a lot of the area songwriters got their starts up with Joe being the engineer in our place at the Garden Gate. It was called Garden Gate Recordings, yeah. So anyway, that I don't know why I actually thought of that, but I thought that was a.
Well, I recorded that whole CD with him.
That's it. Your album.
It was an album. It wasn't.
Yeah.
In those days, it was an album, and it turned into a CD because albums were old then. By the time I finished it, so that's the era. That's how I can tell where we were. And we made about 25 copies or something, and they're all gone. So I have to make more if I ever, It's a funny world, It's like,
yeah.
Do you go the commercial route, or why are you doing it? And it's like,
one thing we did not do is market. We were terrible.
We never marketed.
What was important was the community and the music and the songs, and just, and giving people an opportunity to record, and even our own songs, we just never marketed them. We never went out and tried to push, our label or anything. We were just, we were a little wacky that way.
Well, it wasn't wacky. We were working at jobs, and life is going on, and you're busy, and it's not what we focused on because that didn't matter to us as much.
Yeah, it didn't matter what happened with the music as long as we wanted people to hear the music, and we just, or we wanted to develop more music ourselves and see what happened, but we're not very aggressive types,
Well, money doesn't talk to me. You need enough to live on. You don't need to get rich. And I know a lot of people in the business who really screwed up their lives. So, they're not alive anymore because of it too, some of them. And fame doesn't really help you. And the money is just not, you need enough, you don't need a lot. That's how I feel. And if you're taking care of that wing, I could put it in that terms, you know. But what I think that what the music is for encouraging people. It's like music, you listen to music it lifts you up. And it's like, I'm not talking about church lift you up, I'm talking about life lift you up. You know, people need upliftment, and music does that for people. And that's my goal, is to figure out how to share. And if you're not distributing, if you're not marketing, you're probably not getting as many people to hear it. But wherever you are doing your music, you're uplifting people at the time. If you're tuned in.
Yeah.
So, on another sort of topic, what kind of process do you have when you put together a song?
Well, sometimes I just have a phrase or a simple, it might be a piece of a chorus or something, or and it's just something that sometimes things develop. I put a lot of time into rewriting, into kind of, I get something going, and sometimes it takes forever to get it into a decent idea, but I have had a song just kind of blurt out and then got the whole song there, and that's it. But to me, it's I'm never sure if a song is finished. I'm not afraid to go back and change something. In fact, I have a couple of songs that a few years later, I went back and I wrote a new chorus for it, or I changed the whole thing, or, I'm not afraid at all to fix something I think needs fixing, or
How do you know it needs fixing?
If it doesn't feel right.
It's when you try to perform it, it doesn't come out. You just can't. You stumble on it, or it bugs you. It's like it's irritating.
Yeah, something's not quite right. You were just let something.
I don't really believe that, or something like that. You just you say, no, that's not really right. So I found, well, when we wrote Down the River, the one about, it's like I knew I was going to write a song about it because it was like plaguing me. And I'd take a big piece of paper and I'd write all the words that describe it doesn't even matter whether they rhyme, it doesn't make anything. This is not finished yet. This is just the words, so that you have all of the things you want to say. And then you start moving everything around. So it's sort of like a puzzle that in the end for that. And I'm not worried about the music. Usually the music is in the words for me, but I don't usually have musical ideas. He has musical ideas, and he's actually recording them so that he doesn't forget them. But the words are a story or something else. If it's not a story, it's like a theme, and it's like repeating, or a verse, chorus, or whatever it is. But I'm readjusting, and I'm going through the puzzle and putting it together. And the rhythm is very important, of the rhythm of the words, so that you can say it like easily. And then it'll start to have music. And then once you have the music, then you have to make it fit that. So then you have to change some of the words to fit it. So and then if I bring him in, like I'll write the music, I'll have the music with the words, and then I'll even have some chords, and he'll say, well, you really should have a minor in there. And then he polishes the music. And
I was just thinking about Down the River.
Yeah.
Now that was the flood.
Yeah.
At Hurricane Irene. And we had a little camp out in Holly, and the flood took the camp out. We had 4 or 5 buildings out there and a trailer that we, lived in sometimes, and it just took the whole thing away. And we were both, we both lost a lot of stuff, a lot of our life and old memories and things. And so we just started writing down all the things. Like Pat was, throwing out all the lyrics, all the things she could remember. And
Well, we actually walked down the river and we'd run into some of them. You know, the curtains hanging in the trees, they're literally were there.
yep,
And so it was actually, you know, I think songwriting is actually a way to deal with your life. It's, you know, like some people, like sometimes you have to cry because of how you feel. Well, so you can put it in a song and you can sing it. It's like the same thing as crying or even anger. You know, a lot of those things can go into the words in a song, you know. It's like it's a way of dealing with your life. And sometimes you can't finish a song till you live it some more. You're not done with it yet. You know, it's not, we don't know what the end's going to be like. You don't know what the final chorus is going to, or the final verse is going to be. And I think that's, I think that's what painters are like. They're painting for some reason in their life, some emotional thing inside them.
That song's amazing, the way we put it together, the amount of energy we put into that song.
Well, we were putting on I was working at the Watershed Council, the Connecticut River Watershed Council, and I was the finance director. And I put on had a contest for songwriters to write songs about the rivers after Irene. And then we put on concerts. And we had this big final concert, and I said we were gonna perform one of the songs, but we selected like the 15 songwriters to do their songs at the concert, and we had to finish the song because the concert was the next week, and it was almost done, but it wasn't done. That's why he remembers the amount of work, because it was a lot of work to finish it.
Suggestions for other songwriters, how to do it or how to get inspired, or advice for someone who's maybe 50 years younger than you are, or 60 years younger?
Try any idea may go someplace interesting. You just gotta peck away at it for a while, try something, and and look inside yourself for the inspiration. There's songs sitting in there just waiting to find a way out, and your job, I guess, is to help an idea develop.
Well, if you're not a musician, don't worry about it. If you can hum it to yourself, that's good enough. But if you're not a musician, it'll be hard to really pursue it long term. So you really have to figure out something that you can musically, if it's a piano and you can pick the melody out on, then that'll be good enough if it works for you. But you probably want to pursue a little bit of music just so you can really put the music to it. But if the words are what draws you in, then you can go that far and then work with another musician.
Sure.
A lot of musicians write together, and just find somebody that has your sense. You find out who you like to work with. But I think there was something really important I was going to say. It was really a good thing to say.
You'll get there.
It's gone.
Well, I just encourage people to any idea they have
I know what it
can
was.
develop into
I know
something.
What it was. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Cut you off. The listen for hooks. People are always talking about hooks, and they actually help your songs a lot if you can have at least one hook in the song, because if it's catchy, it actually has meaning. It's not just it's cute. It's cute because it has meaning, I think. So it's like you could be walking around talking to your friends, listening to something on TV, anything, and all of a sudden somebody will say one little two or three word thing, and it's a hook. And there's a song in there. If you caught it, it's real. So what does it mean? Then just fill it out, and then work that way, because the hooks really help you. They help you have meaning, I think. Because
they help people remember.
Well, they help other people have, but there's a reason that it's a hook.
Yeah.
And because it's like it
catchy.
Clicks for people. There's something real that is in there, and for different people, it's different things. And maybe it's a hook that has meaning over here and another meaning over here, and this is what the song's about. I don't know. But I think hooks are really fun,
And I'm always like catching hooks. People just say something, I go, oh my God, there's a song, and I write it down, or I don't.
She's always saying, there's a song.
Yeah. It's really, it's kind of fun to have that perspective in just conversations with friends. Yeah.
Yeah, hooks have fallen into disrepute lately because it implies commercialism and so on. But I see what you're saying. That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be commercial to be catchy, or memorable. Memorable is, I guess, why. Yeah.
So, anything else you want to add for our audience or for the world in general?
Everybody should just be doing stuff like writing songs and painting and, whatever it is. Find something. But if you're a songwriter type and you're interested in them, try it. Just try it. Mm-hmm. And, it might turn you on.
And if you're not a great songwriter, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter a bit.
No.
If you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, I think I feel very fortunate to have grown up, during the early rock and roll time and the folk and the Beatles, and I mean, my God, the inspiration is just endless from all those amazing people, and
they were just regular people. That's the thing that you have to get. That just like you.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your music and for sharing your thoughts and experiences. It's been a wonderful session, and our audience is going to enjoy it very much. Thank you very much.
I'm really pleased to have been able to come on here.
Oh,
Dan, thank you for doing this. This is such a valuable service to the whole community.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thanks for watching our show. I would like to acknowledge the support of the Western Mass Songwriters Collaborative, promoting the original music scene in Western Massachusetts. If you want to learn more about the WMSC, go to their Facebook page. Thanks for watching. I'm Dr. Dan. I hope you'll tune in again for the show that puts a spotlight on songwriters.